I recognize myself for 5 minutes, and Ms. Cook, we are sorry for your loss. And thank you for being here today. Thank each of you for being here. We are doing something about crime in Tennessee, and Senator Taylor, I do want to come to you. We had phase one in Memphis this summer with the FBI and Operation Viper that was very successful, 500 plus arrests, over 100 federal indictments, and you have mentioned the Soros-funded DA that has been a stumbling block, as well as the juvenile court system that has been a stumbling block to addressing the crime situation. Now, phase two is in place, and this is the combination of the federal agencies, a dozen agencies, plus state resources with Tennessee Highway Patrol, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and the National Guard. I want you to talk for a moment about the impact that federal resourcing has had and how it helps Memphis. They are 500 police officers short. So let's talk about the impact that is there, and also I want to touch on cashless bail and bail laws with you.
Thank you. The impact that Operation Viper has had already has been huge. As you mentioned, 500 arrests, over 100 federal indictments. My concern is that not all of those arrests will end with federal prosecutions. Many of those arrests will be deferred to the state for prosecution, which would be our local district attorney. And my concern is, as I said in my opening statement, he is the weak link in all of this, because the cases that get referred to state court, as soon as the federal agencies leave and the National Guard leaves and the THP officers leave, he will drag around and dismiss the cases, just like he has done in other cases. There are other cases that he has dismissed. One is there's a federal judge who had an intern who someone attempted to take his life, and that case has been dismissed. And there was an interstate shooting of a constituent of mine who called me, and the case drug on, and it was ultimately dismissed. So his MO is to drag this out so that everybody leaves, the spotlight's off, and then he goes about dismissing and degrading or downgrading the cases. And that will be the weak link in all of this effort with the Make Memphis task force.
And the DA that you're referring to, Mulroy, actually took office in 2022, and during his campaign, he stated, and I'm going to quote him, his quote was, he would avoid cash bail, end quote. And he also stated that he wanted to, and I quote again, transform the criminal justice system, end quote, in Memphis. And certainly he has done that. And we have put a lot of energy into federal support and state support to make certain that Memphis is going to be safe. But it appears what we have is social justice activists who are trying to impede that progress. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. And he has a merry band of restorative justice schemers that are going about trying to make Memphis look like a Mad Max movie, except the cars and the music aren't as good.
Let me come to you for just a moment on cargo theft. Senator Klobuchar and I are working on legislation, and it is the Cargo Security Innovation Act. Now, we know Memphis is America's distribution center. With the Port of Memphis, all 5 Class A railroads, FedEx, and I-40 that goes from the East Coast to the West Coast. And this status as a logistics hub has drawn these cartels and gangs and organized crime rings to Memphis, and they're attacking our supply chains. And I want you to speak for just a moment about cargo theft in the area and why it's important to Memphis.
Right, thank you. As you mentioned, cargo theft is incredibly important to Memphis. We are the home of FedEx. All those railroads that you mentioned come through here. We have the Mississippi River. We have the world's, the second largest cargo airport in the world is in Memphis. So we have the 4 R's: river, roads, railway, and runway. And you reported or the Memphis police reported that cargo thefts are down in Memphis, and you pushed back on that. And when I checked into that, not all incidents of cargo theft are reported to the same agency.
Right.
So many times they may be reported to the railroad police or to other state and federal agencies. So the Memphis Police Department may not know that there's been cargo theft.
Right.
Or that a particular agency is investigating it. But what's happening now is the railroad companies are having to take actions themselves. One railroad company, they moved their intermodal yard to a nearby county so they don't have to stop in Memphis. The railroads are now coordinating their time through the switches so that they don't have to stop in Memphis. And so they're doing everything they can. We need your bill passed. I have a bill at the state level
Okay.
that will help deal with
Thank
cargo
you.
theft.
Senator Klobuchar?